What's up, YouTube family? Today I'm checking out the 2025 Heritage Softail. Woo, look at me. This is possibly one of my favorite bikes, one of my favorite Softails, aside from the Lowrider ST. If it wasn't for the ST, this would be my next favorite, right? And there's just so many things I love about this bike. If you've been with my channel for a while, I've called this bike the sleeper Harley because nobody really talks about it, but I truly do believe this is one of the best bikes that Harley Davidson offers. It can just do a little bit of everything, right? And we'll talk more about that throughout this video. But today I'm really interested in just seeing all of the new improvements for the 2025 model. All of the Softails got a ton of upgrades, a ton of improvements, including the 117 motor that has now been slapped on this bad boy. So I believe you get about a 4% improvement in terms of power. Not a whole lot, but it is something. So I'm gonna test it out, see how it feels. So other than that, everything else pretty much stays the same. I love that they didn't change a whole lot about the Heritage Softail. It still comes with this removable windshield. It still comes with this really comfortable mini apes. It comes with saddlebags. It comes with this amazingly plush seat. Possibly one of the best stock seats that Harley Davidson makes. So all of the things that I love about the Heritage Softail has remained the same, and they made some improvements, right? One of the notable improvements for this year, for 2025, all of the electronics and that system from the touring models have now transferred over to the Softails. The 2025 Softail models now come with the improved electronics. It gets cruise control, it gets traction control, ride modes, rider safety enhancements. All of those things have now filtered over to the 2025 models, making this possibly one of the best Softails that Harley Davidson has made to date. So lots of good things to love about this Heritage Softail. It's just gotten even better. So one of the things that I love about the Heritage Softail is just the most natural riding ergonomics. Nothing feels stressed out. I don't feel like I'm leaned over or hunched over. I just feel so relaxed, like I'm riding a lazy boy. You get these large floorboards, forward riding controls, this handlebar setup. It's so good. I don't think I need to make any adjustments. If I ever needed to travel abroad or travel somewhere and rent a bike, this will be it. This bike can just kind of do it all. It's got good wind protection management with the windshield. It's got saddlebags in the back. It's very plush and comfortable with the seat. And surprisingly, one of the most nimble Softails out there. I don't know what it is about this Heritage Softail, but it is just so nimble, and it's just so natural feeling. With every Softail there's a little bit of a quirk with each Softail that you kind of have to get adjusted to. But if I'm being completely honest, with the Heritage Softail, I just sit on it and ride it for like 2 minutes and it just feels so natural. That's one of my favorite things about the Heritage Softail. To me, it just feels like I'm just right at home. And there's only a few bikes that ever have given me that kind of feeling, the Softail being one of them. Like, even with my favorite bike, the bike that I have now, the Lowrider S, there's a few things that I would need to change to make it fit me a little bit better. But with the Heritage Softail, just right out of the box, it feels really comfortable. So if you've never ridden a Heritage Softail, do yourself a favor, try it out. Try it out, you'll be amazed, because a Heritage Softail will be the reason why you'll change your mind about whether or not this Softail can do it all. Alright, let's get into the sport mode here, because that's what I want to see. Oh yeah, this feels really good on the Heritage Softail with the Classic. It doesn't feel herky-jerky at all. It just feels very natural. Like, I don't know how to describe it. The throttle response feels somewhat linear. On the Lowrider ST that I was just on, it did kind of have that herky-jerkiness, or the twitchiness of the throttle. But this one doesn't feel bad at all. It feels very progressive, very nice, very linear, accurate, predictable. The suspension on this feels really soft and plushy as well. Going through some of the bumps and cracks on the road, you don't really feel that. I've heard that the suspension has been also improved on the Softail line, so it should feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confidence-inducing. One thing I'm noticing about the 2025 models is that the gear switching, it feels really nice and tactile. It feels really accurate, responsive. There's no mushiness at all, so finding neutral is really easy. There we go. 5-gallon fuel tank on the Heritage Softail, same as last year. You get this nice round digital analog gauge. Very visible, which I like. This is a solid contender for 2025. Another big pro in the column for me for the Heritage Softail is just this handlebar setup. It's got a really nice swoop downwards, and towards the rider. So it feels really comfortable and natural. The ergonomics on the Heritage Softail is just killer. And I'm coming in at 5'8", just for reference. Like I mentioned, it does have the forwards, and so really nice relaxed seating position. Unlike the guy in front of me, he has the mids with the low rider S, right? So you can see he looks a little bit awkward, but this riding position is completely different. It's a lot more neutral. I know that I'm gonna be able to ride this for a few hours without fatigue. So I'm on the sport mode right now. It feels way more lively than before. Not to say that the 114s didn't have power, didn't have grunt, right? But this, on paper, 4% more power overall, right? And then pair that with the sport mode that just gives you a slight better tuning, more aggressive tuning. And this feels way better. This will keep you engaged, right? Because if you feel bored and you want to ride a little bit more aggressive, you can go into the sport mode. If you want to just cruise and relax a little bit, you can go in the road mode. One of my favorite models from Harley Davidson. Now, if you were to ask me like, hey, I have a 23 or 22 Heritage, is this worth upgrading? I would say, you know, in my opinion, from my point of view, I don't think it's worth upgrading. I don't think the changes are enough to say you should fork out like, I don't know, $10,000 more on top of your trade-in to get the new ones. Just keep the one that you have, it's fine. But if you have like a, you know, I don't know, an older Heritage model, maybe it's worth looking into. But either way, the point of this video is that the Heritage Softail was already one of my favorite models from Harley Davidson, and they just made it, you know, a smidge better. Actually, more than a smidge. And did I mention that this year, 2025 Softail models, LEDs all the way around from front to back. So that's nice. All the gears have a really nice soft, like, positive click. It doesn't have that, like, clunk. Before I do end this video, I do want to give a shout out to Harley Davidson of Baltimore, Maryland, for just hosting this demo ride. Always a great time. If you're in the area, please do check them out because there's just some really great folks in there. They'll help you out with anything that you need. If I had to nitpick about one thing that I don't like about the new 2025 Heritage Softail is the 2-to-1. I think it kind of works better for a classic looking bike to have a 2-into-2. But you know, that's just my personal preference. I get that with the 2-to-1 you do get some performance enhancements, but I think just look wise it just looks a little off to me to have a 2-to-1. But you know, I'm nitpicking at this point. If you haven't tried out the Softail, do yourself a favor and demo one out, because whatever you've been on before, this is one of the most nimble, fun, agile cruisers that I think Harley makes. It's a bike that can just kind of do it all. Whew. Yeah, that throttle response is, I don't know what that guy was talking about, because this throttle response is just awesome, at least on the sport mode. The 117 on the Heritage Classic with the sport mode engaged reminds me of the 117 on the Lowrider S from last year. It was just a little bit beefier, felt like you wanted to go the whole time. That's what it feels like. Oh, turning on this bike feels so smooth. It just feels so natural. Man, this bike is so fun. Just right out of the box, I feel so at ease on this bike. I feel just very relaxed, and when I'm relaxed, I can just have a little bit more fun. I feel more playful in my riding style, versus if something is not right in terms of like the ergonomics for me, I'm always thinking about that, and I'm always kind of overcompensating in my riding. But because this Heritage Softail just feels so natural and just so at home for me, I can focus my mind on other things like riding and enjoying myself. I'm not worried about, oh, my back, I feel hunched over, or my hips don't feel right, and I feel like this bike is too heavy or something like that. No, this bike feels so well balanced. As big as this bike is, you don't feel the weight at all. It just feels so well balanced. And I know that it sounds like I'm just heaping praise on Harley Davidson. Sounds like I'm a Harley Davidson fanboy. But really, I do mean it. This is one of my favorite Harleys of all time. I might say it does edge out the Loader ST in some places, in some aspects. Like the riding position on the ST, I'm just not a fan of, at least in stock form. But to me, I think this is such a great looking classic Harley Davidson. You can't really judge a book by its cover because this is not your grandpa's bike. This is not your grandpa's motorcycle, man. This can do it all. This has some pickup. It's got a great motor. It's lively. It can dance. Yeah. So don't judge a book by its cover. Even though the Heritage Classic looks like an old school bike, man, it's got a lot of the new school tech, powerful motor, so it can kind of do it all. Yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning into this video. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.